Now I'm going to come back here, grab my timeout function, and I'm going to set timeout for function alert hello every 3 seconds. Now if I were to save this and come back here and refresh this page, 1, 2, 3, it says hello. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, so this only runs once. Okay, so let's see. I think what we need to do is create a countdown timer, right? Timer in JavaScript. Okay, we're gonna go this W3 school one. So they've got, looks like they've got a countdown timer here working in JavaScript. So they've got an ID of demo. So I've got clock display, but they've got it saying demo. And they've got in here the script, the countdown is equal to date. For some reason they want to know the countdown until January 5th, 2021. The countdown date. We want our countdown date to be whatever today's date is minus plus the elapsed time, right? So, okay, so I think this is going to work. So I'm going to actually just copy this in here, and then I'm going to adjust as needed. So, and then first thing I like to do is obviously, as I've talked about all the time, is I like to get my spacing correct, because everything becomes easier in software when you get your spacing correct. So let's open in Node. I don't want to do it to January 5th. I just want to do it, well, we could say countdown date is equal to new date.getTime. And what happens if we do this? Date.getTime. Okay, so it gives us this. Now, I'm pretty sure this is in milliseconds, and our total exercise time is in seconds. Yeah, total exercise time in seconds. Now, let's take total exercise time. So we're going to say this. I'm pretty sure that this gets us, if we get this, we say var d, let's say type of d. Okay, that gives us a number. Okay, great. So this means that we can add seconds to that. So I think that what we can do is say new date.getTime, and then we can say plus our total exercise time in seconds times, and because they're in milliseconds, we need to multiply it by 1,000. And so the new this countdown date should get us on total exercise time. Oh, we need to put the total exercise time in seconds in here. So I'm going to just paste that whole JavaScript file into here, and now we have total exercise time in seconds. And so now we can run, oh, I'm going to paste it again from here. Now we can get our countdown date. So countdown date, and then let's say countdown date minus time date dot get time. It's not a function. Get minus new date dot get time. 577. Yeah, that's about right. What was our total elapsed time? Was 5797, and a bit of time has gone down. Okay, cool. So now our countdown date is basically when we click, well, we don't have it so we click the button, but right now, right when we load the page, our countdown date starts. So our completion, let's call it, yeah, we'll keep it countdown date. So now we're going to say let x is equal to the set interval. So we're setting an interval with 1 second delay. 1 second meaning 1,000 milliseconds. And so x becomes the variable that we set our clock to. Right now is our new date.getTime. So we're setting our time for now. The distance between now and the countdown date. Cool. So that's the distance between countdown date, which is the one that we've calculated as the time that we need to complete the past, minus the current time. And then our time calculations for days, hours, minutes, and seconds. We don't need days, because this is just a 1 hour test, so it doesn't matter. Display the result in the element with the ID of demo. We want it to say the ID of clock display. And then we're going to go days, hours. But instead, we don't need days. This will actually break our code right now. Hours plus minutes plus seconds. If the countdown is finished, write some text. So if distance is equal to 0, is less than 0, we're going to clear interval, which I guess means we just clear the clock because the x is the interval. Yeah, the only time x shows up in this document is here and here. So I'm going to call this clock because I hate it when there's nondescript. Clear the countdown clock. Distance countdown now. If distance is less than that, then we clear the thing. HTML expired. And we'll just have it remain with expired. So now if we refresh the page, total exercise time is not defined at HTML5. But look, we've got a countdown happening right now from our... It looks about right to what we calculate for the past standards, which means that right now we could say something like, well, we've got our first minute, so maybe at a certain point when this gets down to 1 hour and 36, we're going to start iterating on, okay, prepare to start. We've got a 10-second start, so we've probably already started. And so right now we've got our first underwater swim. And so we're just going to want to start writing conditional statements based on where everything is. So yeah, right now that the button start training doesn't start the training. So we should say on click. We should do start training. And then instead of doing it here like this, let's see, we can get rid of this set timeout thing now. We don't need that. The past schedule. We could say function start training. And then within the start training function, we're going to add all this stuff. I don't like having comments all over my code. So I'm just going to get rid of the comments. And let's see. That seems like it's good. All right, cool. Now if we refresh the page, we should have the clock initially say, just have nothing on there. We can just say start training. And then, boom,